precaution. These are we discuss, and also we continue to discuss about old age. Which period is known as old age? After
After 60,
after
60 to above
60.
age.
60 to above age is known as old age. Okay. How can we prevent degenerative disease in old age? What are the precaution process? First, because in that period, lifestyle habits are very important in preventing illness later in life or in the old age. So, eat a well balanced diet is the first precaution and avoid too much of foods rich in fat and sugar, carbohydrate, etc. Then second is do not consume too much of alcohol during this period. Can I audible properly?
No, ma'am.
I'm not audible properly.
No, ma'am.
Till now, yes or no?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଅଡିବୁଲ୍ ହଉଛନ୍ତି କିନ୍ତୁ ଟିକେ ଏପଟ ସେପଟ ହେଇଯାଉଛି।
How? Okay. Now I am audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. First, what are the precaution we can prevent the degenerative disease during the old age? First of all, we eat balanced diet for old age period. Avoid too much of food rich in fat and sugar. Do not consume too much of alcohol in this period because we know that alcohol is dangerous for health and it also occur long-term diseases, and do not smoke during this period or during this old age period. To reduce weight, if you are overweight during the old age, because when overweight is occur, you should affect obesity and diabetes also. Then keep physically and mentally active during this period because mentally active is very much important in this period because high blood pressure also occur due to the reason for hypertension. So mentally active is most important. Try to get enough rest and sleep during this period. Okay, these are the precaution to prevent degenerative disease in old age. What can we do to treat burn? First, we treat because some different types of burns occurs. First, minor burns that do not from blisters. It means it is also known as first degree burns. That time we put the burn part in cold water at once. Then second degree burns causes blisters may need special treatment during this period. And when the severe burns occur, a person who suffered very serious burns loses a lot of fluid from oozing burns. In that period, we can give plenty of liquids the severe burn patient. And how and which type of liquid we can give? We can give a good drinks. For example, 1 liter of we contain a 1 liter of water and mixing with half of a teaspoon of salt and half of a teaspoon of sodium bicarbonate soda with 2 tablespoon of sugar. And also we add there then some drops or uh, 10 to 15, 10 to 20 ml of honey and some orange juice in 1 liter of water. It makes a good drink because to prevent dehydration from the burn patient and particularly it is important to this till the person starts passing urine frequently. So we provide them to good drinks during the severe burn patient. In case of severe burn, we also provide eating nutritious food is most important. Which type of nutritious food? This is protein rich food which is emphasized. Protein rich food. How can we emphasize? What are the symbols? We can discuss the last class.
Grow, grow.
Grow. Grow is known as the protein rich food or bodybuilding food. And go known as
Energy food.
energy giving food or most often carbohydrate and fat food. Then how can we prevent most case how can we prevent poisoning disease or poisonous? Because a little carelessness cause most of cases poisoning. First of all, we can take precaution can help to prevent poisoning is do not keep poisonous or non-edible substances along with food items and dispose all the old medicine. Second point. And third, do not use food containers for storing poison. And also keep all poison out of reach of children. This is extremely important for prevent poisoning. Okay. Then how can we use medicine? Can you tell me medicine are always necessary for our health? True or false? True or false?
False.
False. Because medicine are not necessary always. For example, a common cold or common disease, just like flu, influenza, cold, in that period we can will just go away by itself. Okay, so some illness will not go away without medicine. In that case, we use the medicine. Next, injection are always better. Yes or no?
No.
No. Injection are always not better. That any medicine when injected has a greater effect. But in this time, sometimes we needed only injection. And it may be rarely cases, whereas the disease is in severe cases. And sometimes injection also affect our health. How? If the needle used for injection is not clean, it may be affect our health through infection and it also may result in serious infection. So it is also much easier to give too much of medicine while injecting because this can also kill the person. Can antibiotics be dangerous in your life sometimes or every times?
Sometimes.
Antibiotics sometimes. Antibiotics are very powerful medicine. They should only be used when the a need is most necessary or most urgent. In that time, we use or we take an antibiotic. And in this, when we take the antibiotics, we use in recommended doses, never more, never less. Because the doses depends upon an age, weight, and the person's disease, how much or which type of disease can face the patient. So, by recommendation of the doctor, we can use the doses. Never always ask for injection. Injection is necessary only in very serious cases. And also, stop using the antibiotic if there is any sign of allergy. Any sign of allergy like rash on skin, itching, difficulty in breathing, in that period, we stop the using antibiotics. Because all antibiotics are not equally effective for all illness. One or two may be recommended for a specific disease, which kill the particular organism most effectively. Okay? Don't use dangerous antibiotics such as chloromethanical except in the cases of typhoid. Never use and also never use antibiotics for common cold, flu like influenza. How do we measure the amount of medicine? Medicine are available in different forms. Different forms like tablets, capsule, liquid forms like syrup. These are different forms of medicine available. We also consume. And the amount of medicine content per unit weight or volume or according to the number is given the packaging like 100 milliliters, or teaspoon, one tablet, small doses, and half of a tablet, quarter of tablet, which can be recommended by the doctor. Most often time, measuring liquids is best to done with a standard of spoon of 5 ml. How often should a medicine be taken? How often? By recommended by medical officer or medical center or your doctor. Different types of different types of time provided by the doctor, like every 4 hour you consume this tablet, every 6 hour you consume that medicine, every 8 hour you consume that types of medicine. These are known as every 4 hours means 6 times a day, 24 hours per day, and every 6 hour means 4 times per day. Every 8 hours means 3 times per day after eating or before eating, which was recommended by the doctor. And some medicine also take take food may be affect our health, may not be affect our health, and it is also known as sometimes recommended some medicine with some food. Sometimes they do not recommended medicine some type of food. Okay. For example, some medicine cannot enter to the body with some food. For example, milk should not be taken just before and after of taking tetracycline. When we take the tetracycline tablet or medicine, 1 hour before we cannot take milk, 1 hour after we cannot, 1 hour, within 1 hour we cannot take also milk, because it may be harmful to our body. Okay. Which type of message we can provide or a nutritional worker can provide by using the health education? Which type of message? Different types of message we can communication, just like positive message and also negative message. These are different types of message. Then what are the positive message? Positive message is, for example, eat green leafy vegetables. There is no reason to give an limited impact. Sometimes people may feel this message is wrong. Sometimes they do not understand the message, and sometimes they accept in wrong way for the message. In that time, we provide when the positive message, we follow some type of regions or sometimes some types of way, different way, like eat greens as often you can. This keeps your eyes healthy. It means in that message we can give in the regions, and it also better impact for the patient. Negative message, however, usually do include a reason and as a cause and effect relationship. It means eating kesari dal causes paralysis. Eating kesari dal is not causes for paralysis, but eating kesari dals, sometimes it may be harmful or sometimes it not prevent the paralysis. If we consume paralysis medicine, we cannot take the kesari dal. Okay. So this message, how can we provide the through communication? Stop eating kesari dal to prevent your paralysis. Okay. Some messages linked with other nutrition related disease, like eating too much of anything bad for your health. Avoid too much of fat and sugar in your diet to be healthy, and keep strict control over your diet in diabetes and in heart disease. These are the nutrition related message. And message linked dietary patterns. For example, a message linked dietary patterns like breastfeed is most important for infants. It means breast milk is the best food for your baby. We can provide this type of message also. And next, according to dietary pattern, because preschoolers must take small frequent meals, Good food rich in energy, protein, vitamin A and iron. This type of message we also send through the communication. What do you mean by communication? Can you explain? What do you mean by communication?
ଜଣେ ଅନ୍ୟ ଜଣଙ୍କ ସହିତ ନିଜର ଯୋଉ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତାକୁ ସେୟାର କରିବାକୁ କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ କୁହାଯାଏ।
Right. If communication means if a person sharing of ideas, information, attitude, values, or instruction with individuals or with groups which facilitate progressive changes in knowledge, attitude, and practices. It involves both giving and receiving information is known as communication. Okay. And communication methods. How many types of communication method? Communication methods may be individual method, group method, and also mass method. But as a nutrition extension worker or nutrition worker, we can communicate through group method. And these group methods of communication also classified into different categories like information center method and behavior center method. Information center method also classified in lecture method and discussion method. And behavior center method also classified among different types: discussion decision method, problem solving method, role play method, inquiry discovery method, and demonstration method. These are the two types of communication method, and also these methods also classified some other types of communication method. Now we will discuss about information centered method. Information center method is the provision of information. This should ensure assuring that knowledge leads to change in attitude and practices. It means through lecture and discussion method. Lecture and discussion. In that method, lecture method is involves always the one-way method when each one has got its own merits and demerits. But one who share the information to different types of or a group of people is known as lecture method. In this method, experienced experience and educational research basically shows in lecture, which is relatively inefficient method of communication to transfer knowledge. And this method has some own limited, because in that method, this method also we counseling or the teacher or learner student methods also known as lecturer method. In that method, it does not demand the active involvement of learner. Through this class, we also does not demand the active involvement of learners. This is also known as lecture method, and it is unsuited to teaching of skills which require practices. Second, it is not appropriate to promote change in attitude of the students or other individuals or or the participations. Okay. It also does not convenience the people since emphasis is mostly on talking. It does not elicit the feedback unless the instructor is very sensitive. Okay. How do we improve the instructional value of lecture? First of all, we study the nature of audience. Which type of nature? What will be the audience should be interest, their interest and their level of understanding, and organize the material of effective presentation. Use aids at appropriate time. Plan of variation in the presentation, for example, lecturer come discussion or demonstration or illustrative lectures are most effect, or we can improve this lecture through discussion. Okay. Share sometimes of question, get a feedback from the learners. These are the some value or reasons or the causes we can improve the lecture method. Then what is discussion method? What is discussion method? Discussion method is an organized conversation. It can only happen in groups because it is the thoughtful consideration of relationship involved in a topic or problem studied by a group through an organized conversation. In this method, the relationships are analyzed, compared, and evaluated. It means the conclusions are drawn in this method through discussion method. Okay. And this discussion method can be used at all the stages of teaching, depending upon the topic, nature, size of the people, and arrangement of the group. There are various forms of discussion. What are the different forms of discussion? Like, for example, first is group discussion, circular discussion. In group discussion, some 30 to 40 members are involved in this group discussion method, and they are active participated in that method. Circular discussion method, we circulate some information through these people and they can share their feedback, their valuable knowledge. Okay. Then panel discussion, then budge discussion, symposium, seminar. In the seminar, we also discuss open a topic or a subject and related their causes, their problems, how to solve these problems. We can discuss about a seminar, debate, forum, committee, and workshop. These are the different forms of discussion. What is the discussion can help the people? What are the helps we can get through discussion? That the discussion helps to locate the problem of interest and their significance. Define and clarify the nature and extent of the problem. Get and through discussion we get the best possible solution. And also through the discussion get new ideas and insights which will help to solve both common and personal problems. Okay, how we conduct the discussion? We conduct the discussion through the informal group of people. It means the number of person or individuals, the number of a family analyze the matter and problems that have come up for discussion. And a formal type of discussion is known as a group which is organized by some person, individual, some institutions, some organizations, and in that discussion, the one leader can participate, and other resource person also participate, recorder and reporters also participate in this discussion. That is known as formal type of discussion. And in this type of discussion, the reporter or the leader maintain the record of the points made by the different participants, and they prepare a summary and suggest future action based on proceeding of the discussion. What they are discuss about in next or future discussion. Okay. What are the essential characteristics to make the discussion successful? There are two different characteristics. First is the leadership, when the leader must help, and second is the participant. The members have to participate in actively. How the leadership must help in which process? In that process, the leader can friendly help all the members of the group to get acquainted with each other. Secondly, all the members feel that their opinions and thoughts are very important, because the leader can accept all the thoughts and their opinions. And the timid members feel confidence and feel active. How to feel the participants are active? The leader must help. Then the participants, what can do the participants? The participants listen to what others says, and they also ask questions to bring out points that are not clear. Sometimes participants also ask questions they do not understand. Then the leader can understand them clearly. Okay? And sometimes the participants share the facts and contribute to the subject and ask for the fact. Sometimes it respect each other, realizing each one's capabilities. Give due credit for good work and express appreciation where deserved. When the participants accept some expression of appreciation, they sure participate in the active participate in that discussion method. Then what is behavior centered method? In behavior center method proved to be effective in changing of food behavior seems to be discussion and decision, problem solving, role playing, inquiry discovery, demonstration. These are the behavior center method. And it plays an essential features of this method is the size of the group. Okay, and the size must be vary from 2 to 18 members or 2 to 18 participants. First of all, we will discuss about discussion decision method. Discussion decision method is not same as the group decision method. It is different than the group decision method. It requires the teacher who competent the discussion, leading to discussion for an action in any field of social sciences or applied sciences. For example, nutrition or nutritional related topic. It means discussion and decision method always competent the discussion and lead the decision. They play an active role to get the decision and finalize the decision. Whereas the group discussion may not lead the decision. Whereas, for example, when the discussion decision method in the field of nutrition, try we will stimulate, try to add new foods, to select better ways of preparing food, to make better food choices in all the occasion. The method may be the first step to get the people to recognize their own nutritional problem and to provide the stimulation needed. Which type of stimulation they can be needed to seek the solution of this problem. And this discussion and decision method more effective than lecturer method. Okay. And in this method, people's attention to do something or individuals collective the action in problem solving. When we conduct a discussion decision method, what are the points to be considered about in our mind? First, we discussing and recognize the problem. What are the nutritional problem of any specific group in the community? Different communities occurs different types of nutritional problem. Rural area, there is so many nutritional deficiency occurs. So many nutritional problem also occurs in different area. Some area may be occurs in digestional problem. Some area affect iodine deficiency disease. Some area affect vitamin B1 thiamine deficiency disease. These are also depend on different community. Also, okay. The first, when we conduct a discussion decision method, we first discussing the problem or recognizing the problem. Then we can decide one of the chief problem. because the different types of problems may be occur in the same communities. What are the main cause? What are the main reasons? Why these problems occur? So many people are affected in this disease. So first decide on the chief problems. Which problem is the chief? Then we discussing the solution to the nutritional problem recognized. Then we can decide an appropriate solution to the chief problems which we can identify. ଆମେ ଯାହାକୁ ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଫାଏଡ୍ କରିଥିବା ଆମେ ତା ପାଇଁ କୋଉଟା appropriate solution ହବ ତାକୁ decide କରିବା. Then developing a plan of action involving the solution arrived this community. Okay, this is discussion decision method. Next we discussion about problem solving method. Can we always apply problem solving method? Yes or no?
Yes.
No. No. We apply this method when scientifically and logically a problem arising in this situation, which in this situation we can apply problem solving method, because in these methods involves thinking, reasoning, planning and execution. Achievement of certain abilities, skills and attitude are the results. So, problem solving always is a scientific method. Okay, because in that method we first think what problem arised, why, what are the reasons, then we plan to solve this problem, then we execute our plans to solve the problem. Next we evaluate, can we solve the problem and what is our result. Okay, ବୁଝି ହଉଛି?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
Now some of the more research conducted by our different researcher, they indicated that poor food habit and nutrition problem exist in many countries. And these problems cannot solve by the nutritionist and nutrition educator, because some people must learn to solve the problems. These problems are in the hand of the people. If they are not aware, they are not learn about nutrition, they face this type of different problem, poor food habit problem, different type of nutritional problem they face. So there is a challenge to learning the situation in which people will recognize their nutrition problem. Then the nutrition educator must lead the people step by step through an active process of problem solving. What are the steps they consider to solve this type of problem? First, the nutritionist or the nutritional educator mustly identify the problem. They must identify the problem. Then they get the scientific information or the fact to relevant the problem, and they use information in making decision. They use different people's through different ways they collect the information to which is help them to make decision. They also relate the facts to the real life situation. If they are not, if the nutritional educators are not relate the facts to the real life situation, the peoples or the participant cannot accept these facts. That is the most important point, which must be considered in her mind when they start a active process of problem solving method. They share the information and express and clarify the ideas. Which type of ideas? The relate to the real life situation. Okay? Or the information which is relevant to the problem. Then they develop the trial situation and test and evaluate those solutions. It may be best, it may be very good, it may be normal. Okay. Then they evaluate those solutions and think critically. What are the future plan? Which type of suggestion they can give? What are the other solutions until the problem is solved? যে পর্যন্ত ତାଙ୍କର ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ସଲ୍ଭ ହେଇନି ସେ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଟେଷ୍ଟ କରୁଥିବେ, ପ୍ଲାନ୍ କରୁଥିଲେ, ରିପ୍ଲାନ୍ କରୁଥିବେ, ଦେନ୍ ତାକୁ ଏକ୍ଜିକ୍ୟୁସନ କରୁଥିବେ, କ୍ଲାରିଫାଏ କରୁଥିବେ, ଜଷ୍ଟିଫିକେସନ ଦଉଥିବେ, କ୍ରିଟିକାଲି ଥିଙ୍କିଂ କରୁଥିବେ until the problem is solved. Okay. Both the educator and the learner are need the nutrition information related to the problem identified in problem solving as a method of nutrition education. Because problem solving alone without a sound knowledge is neither worthwhile nor a purposeful venture. Without problem solving, a nutritional knowledge may be purposeless. If a nutrition problem is occurs or arise in your area or in your community, if you cannot solve these problems, your nutritional knowledge is purposeless. You are not a nutritional educator, proper nutritional educator. You have no knowledge to solve this problem. Okay. Next, role play method. We play different types of role during our lifetime. It may be personal, it may not be very proportional all the time. Because we play different types of role in our life. When you have a daughter, when you have a sister, you have a friend, you have a mother, you have a daughter-in-law, sister-in-law, then mother-in-law. Different types of role play in your lifetime. But in the context of nutrition and health education, role play is seen as an educational technique in which some health problem or nutritional problem is illustrated through spontaneous human interactions. For example, you can asking a small group of mothers to present a typical situation, illustrating how they deal with malnourished child or iron deficient child at home. The enactment is usually followed by the discussion and analysis to determine what happened already and why these are occurs or nutrition deficiency occurs and what are the necessary facts and how the problem could be tackled in the future. So, the role play method an excellent, which means bringing out into the open an emotional problem. And also, role play depicts the character of a situations very well and explains the situation clearly with a tinge of reality. When feeling some emotions are expressed, the other person is understood better. Okay. Then what are the process or what are the steps which we could adopt in formulating a role play method? First, we select the problem related to the nutrition and health. Then define the title situation and the roles. Define the title situation and the roles. Choose different participants for the various roles and see the stages and present in the situation. Act out the situation and follow up discussion. And lastly, you can evaluate the presentation. If the problem is not real, then or if they are self-conscious, in that situation, role play fails when it is overused or inappropriately used. Okay, that is the role play method. Then, what are the inquiry discovery method? Inquiry discovery method are two types: one-way system method and two-way system method. In one-way system method, the teacher attempts to stimulate the discovery process in the learner. When a problem is posed by the teacher and then proceed to solve it. But in doing so, he act out the steps of discovering the solution. In that process, it is clearly formed the process that method is demonstrated by the teacher, where involvement of teacher is minimum, but they can demonstrate the problem. That is one-way system method. What is two-way system method? In one-way system method, only teacher's involvement, so minimum limited or minimally they can involve in this method. But in two-way system method, learners make discoveries and the teachers guide them in the right discussion or right direction. They always guide, the teacher always guide the learner, and the learner makes discoveries this problem. It means the learners always answering the questions proposed by the teacher, which the teacher asks any type of question, the learner can answer this question. That is two-way system method. Okay. And this inquiry discovery method is that full freedom and opportunities is given to the learner to learn through their own action and observation. Teacher give all the freedom and all the opportunities to the learner. In which method? Inquiry and discovery method. Okay. Next, what is demonstration? Sasmita, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is demonstration method? Demonstration shows how any process is carried out. In this method, either alone or with the lecture method is widely to teach different subjects. When there are no special facilities for teaching and the practical accepts of any subject to a large group. So, a successful demonstration required certain points. For example, the pleasing appearance the demonstrator, knowledge, accuracy of information, equipment. Without equipment, the demonstration cannot be done. Equipment is very careful selection and arrangement. comfortable sitting arrangement for the audience, planning all the details through preparation, presentation with clarity, eliciting audience responses, evaluation and follow-up. What will help you to conduct the demonstration process fully? Which will help you to conduct a demonstration purposefully? First, introduce the topic. First, we can, when we demonstrate a paper or a topic, first we introduce the topic, which can we demonstrate. Present the content interestingly, because interest is most important in the demonstration method. Without interest, we cannot demonstrate any type of topic, any type of article. Then emphasizes the key point. Then do and say. First of all, we do this process and this material through equipment. Then we say you can do this type of process. Then have a neat setting and keep people comfortable. If the people are comfortable, they do anything, any type of demonstration they can do. Then encourage questioning to the participants. End product should be displayed neatly and evaluated by the demonstrator. That after that, the participant can do neatly and clearly, and they also displayed neatly and evaluated with or comparison with their demonstrator. What are the advantages of group communication? Hmm?
ଗ୍ରୁପ କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ ଦ୍ୱାରା ସମସ୍ତେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ଆଇଡିଆ ସେୟାର କରିପାରିବେ।
Yes, ideas share
ସମସ୍ତେ ନିଜ
କରିପାରିବେ,
ନିଜର ଡାଉଟ ବି କ୍ଲିୟର କରିପାରିବେ।
view ବି ଦେଇପାରିବେ। Hmm? So, group communication facilitate first face-to-face interaction within a small group of person. It means a dialogue or conversation. And it is also personal, direct and intimate to allowing for maximum interaction and exchange in a word or gesture. Different types of word they can recognize because different type of people say different things. Feedback is the K word here, and more so it will be instantaneous in small group communication. They can interaction each other also. So whereas the larger group can less personal and direct to the exchange through communication, whereas the small group is always preferred for better communication that cannot do in the large group of people or large group method or mass method. The degree of directness and intimacy therefore depends upon the size of the group also. The place where it meets as also the relationship of the members of the group to one another and to the leader. Participants are exchange their information or they share their information or ideas in between the participants and also with the leader. Okay, in group communication. And this method can be practiced widely to reach more and more information to the large number of people in the same time also and educated the people also. What is mass communication?
ମାସ୍
What is
କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ
mass?
ହଉଛି ଯୋଉ ଯନ୍ତ୍ର ଦ୍ଵାରା କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ କରିବା।
Through an media or through some medium, we can communicate so many peoples. Okay, mass communication is generally identified with modern media like television, radio, cinema, and the printed media. At one time, we can share our information or ideas or any notice. We can share so many people through this media or through the medium. These medias are also known as the channels which through which the communication occurs. Sometimes the not only mass communication ca- not only communicate through electronic media but also spoken through word, song, drama, dance, painting, and architecture. These are also the different organs of the mass media in a developing country. Sometimes we also emphasize our ideas or our information through song, okay, through dance, through drama, through a short story, okay. The term mass communication is both the word conjugated mass and communication. Mass means kept stretching, which means to include even greater number of people with the development of every new technological tool for communication. That is mass communication. And the mass communication comprise the institutions and techniques by which specialized groups employ technological devices, for example, press media, radio, film, television, etc., to disseminate symbolic content to a large, heterogeneous, and widely dispersed audience. So, The mass communication method also deals with the technological devices, just like we tell about or we discuss about press media, print media, radio, film, television. These are okay. And these mass communication media are essentially classified in different kinds, like in written form, in spoken form, in audio visual form. What are the example of written form of mass communication? Can you explain? Just give an example.
Then continue out there.
Just give an example about written form of mass communication.
Newspaper.
Newspaper, very good. Newspaper is the best written media and very well they spread the information so many people. Newspaper, banners, this media call for effecting reading skills of learner for successful communication. Spoken media. Spoken media means oral communication using different language. For example, radio an example of spoken media. Television also, but television is audio and visual. Television both oral and visual communication simultaneously. When every person or every individuals they can listen or they can see through the visual sense and listening sense. Filming also is one such medium of audiovisual media. We use the print media or written media, what are the advantages and disadvantages of written media? We use when every individuals or the persons are educated. They read in different language or the words. When they are uneducated, they can read, they cannot read. It means it is valuable when the persons are highly literacy. Among the adult, these are, for example, adult learners of nutrition and health education. And it will be some advantages like it will be so many areas, so many people read newspaper and so many information or notices included in this newspaper in our state, countries, different areas. Okay. What are the, can you give some example of printed media? First of all, newspaper we can discuss. Then
Book. Book.
book, circular letters, some folders, Wall newspaper, bulletins,
Banners.
leaflets, very good, banners, newsletter, calendars, story. These are also some example of printed media. What is leaflet? A leaflet is usually a single sheet of printed matter, sometimes folded. It gives you accurate or specific information on a particular topic, and it is suitable to provide information about the method of preparation of different nutritious recipes and symptoms, treatment, various nutrition deficiency disease, etc. For example, we can make a leaflet, protein energy malnutrition. First, in front page, we display the protein energy malnutrition picture and different types of protein energy malnutrition. Then at the second page and middle page, we can display the what are the etiology or causes of protein energy malnutrition, symptoms of energy malnutrition, management of children suffering from protein energy malnutrition, low cost nutritious complementary foods, feeding schedule for protein energy malnutrition children. Then what is circular letter? Circular letter always circulate the message in the form of a letter among the intended group of receivers. And the name of circular letter was designed to this medium. It may be Odia medium, it may be English medium, it may be Hindi medium, as which medium is locally used frequently. And the circular letter has an intimate personal approach to the message of receivers. There are also two types of circular letters. It, first is announcement. Some of the announcement we can say are large number of people, that is known as some announces, that is known as announcement letter, and subject matter. Subject matter letter is designed to bring about the changes in behavior by the way of presenting the information in a personalized form. Okay. Then folders. What is folder? It is a single piece of paper folded once or twice. When opened, material is presented in sequences. We make sure this sequence appears in the finished folder. If not, first, what is the first page, what is the last page, it may be the reader may get confused. Okay. So we number this type of folder. Then what is banner? Banner is an ancient and well-known information visual media in India. Always very ancient period banner will be started. Basically, we found this type of banners in rural areas and also urban areas. So many of banners are published in urban area. Nutrition health educators seldom use the banners also because banners are rather costly and require considerable time and skills. Banners are also must be attractive with a brief and clearly presented message. Then calendar. What is calendar? Calendars are duly distributed in most countries of the world as an advertising tool. They can be utilized for nutrition and health education. For example, it can be used to give message related to the infant feeding or information about the immunization schedule during the first year of child's life. In a calendar, in January month, first week, what are the weight and height of infants? Then second week, what are the weight, height, head circumference, arm circumference? We can list down the calendar. And such calendars are very useful to show the growth rate of the infants or the children. What is spoken media? For example, spoken media are always means about the oral communication, and radio is the friend of mass communication by spoken media because everybody knows it is a familiar item in one's life. A very good information channel also in radio. It is a mass media of communication and can reach a large number of people at one time. In ancient period, always peoples are used or listen the radio. What will be information share and what are the messages sent by a different organization? They can always prefer spoken media and radio. What is the nature of the spoken media? This medium is the transient and fleeting, and its impression is quite quick and faint because this medium or spoken medium is one-way communication. Through radio, we cannot reply, we cannot give feedback, only we listen. So, radio or spoken media is one-way communication. Therefore, the spoken media and radio, the message has to be simple and clear so that all people can understand it and act if need to be. When a flood, ଯେତେବେଳେ ବନ୍ୟା, ବାତ୍ୟା ଏସବୁ ଆସିଥାଏ ସେତେବେଳେ maximum timeରେ ଆମର ସତର୍କ ସୂଚନା different area रे कौन को एरिया रे घटुची सेटा रेडियो माध्यम रे इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर करा जाता है. Then what are the advantages and limitation of spoken media or radio? First, what are the advantages? It is relatively very cheap and maintenance of radio is very easy. Some good programs are available in the areas such as nutrition and health. It reaches both illiterate and literate audience because its words are very simple and clarify all the information. It reaches so it will be suitable for both illiterate people and literate people. It can build enthusiasm and maintain interest. It also improve every individual's listening skills and also communication skills. They listen every word, they listen what others can say, what others can express her ideas through spoken media, through communication, what others share, any information or any ideas, and the listening skills can improve through the spoken media or radio. Then, what are the limitations? Limitations means time assigned. Which time, which subject or which program can be offered. It means time assigned for educational programs is short. This duration because in that programs are durable. Half an hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes. These programs are offered in their time 7 a.m., 8 a.m. If you have no time or you are busy in that time, you cannot listen this type of information or you cannot learn the education. Okay? No scope for immediate feedback because firstly I said that radio or spoken media is one-way communication. So, in that, no scope for immediate feedback. You cannot share your suggestion, you cannot share your ideas, you cannot share anything. All listeners, another is, all listeners cannot be involved in the preparation of broadcasting. Okay. Entertainment programs compete with the educational programs. Always educational programs cannot provide by radio and always entertainment program cannot provided by spoken media or radio because all different peoples and different lifespan people like children, adult, adolescents, different types of lifespan people can listen the radio. So the radio cannot provide always the entertainment program or always they cannot provide the educational program. Okay. Next, there is very limited coordination between the transmitting authority and receiving ends like classroom who can receive limited period. If you cannot receive or you cannot listen once, then radio cannot repeat it. Okay. Free times of non-formal groups are not in tune with broadcasting time of related. program. If you are busy in that time, when you are free, you want to listen, you cannot listen. That are the limitation of spoken media or radio. Audiovisual media, which are centrally controlled, are discussed. Always we discussed filmy, televisions, are audiovisual media. What are the filmy? All peoples are want to see the filmy because filmy undoubtedly is the most fascinating medium nowadays in our country. The films are different types. There are 8 mm, 16 mm, Super 8, which are used by educational purpose. And the cost of film production is very high, and the cost of each print is also relatively high. A good film can increase the factual knowledge and teaching skills, develop favorable attitude, and can even change the opinions. When in a training and educational situation, a film should always be built into the session and not shown separately on other occasions. What are the advantages and limitations of film? First, advantages are it enables the instructor to create the events, actions, places, and time. It also provides real experience which can be shared by the instructor and the learner. It gives compel attention because of the illuminated screen in semi-darkness. It also provides common experiences and continuity of action for learning experiences. What are the limitations? Limitations are it will be higher cost of the filmy projector and non-availability of electricity in the required place and appropriate time we cannot show the film, and technical skills in handling a projector also. Difficulty in transporting and maintaining projector and filming. Difficulty, it may always difficult. Then television. Television also a audiovisual medium. Television has also become another fascinating medium in our country. Okay, TV. It started as an instructional program for only farmers, which is known as Krishi Darshan in Delhi from 26 January 1961. First television program is Krishi Darshan in Delhi, 26th January 1961. What are the merits and demerits of television? Television is going most important. Sorry. Television is going most important mass medium, not only because of vast coverage, but also because of last visual impact. It was established itself as an effective medium of information transfer. It can also meet the new challenge of quick transfer of changing concept in nutrition and health, etc. What are the limitations? Television sets being manufactured by a large number of companies in India. Maintenance of the set certainly presents lot of problems also face. Like radio, there is added problem of coordination of the program. So many coordination, lack of coordination also occur to coordinate the program. Feedback is also not yet built into the television communication. You have any doubt? Okay. Take next class next day. Thank you.